Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Jill. I am the brand manager here at Ruby, and I'm delighted to be speaking with Sam Hainey today from Hilltop Law Firm. Sam, do you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. So my name is Sam Hainey, VP of Operations here at Hilltop Law Firm. And what we kind of look forward to in our business and our law firm is we help people, right? So at the end of the day, what's our main goal? It's to help others. And to do so with an integrity-driven kind of mindset. So what we do is specifically bankruptcy, debt settlement, and estate planning. So what better way in a law firm to actually help others but those three areas, which is why we chose them.
And I'm sure that folks coming to you in a time of great distress probably need a certain amount of customer care and client care that you all excel at.
They do. They need a lot of hand-holding. In my background, I come with 20 years of client services, account management, customer service, leadership, executive leadership. So it was a really great fit. We were looking to really grow the business. And so my husband's the attorney. So we're like a husband and wife law firm. I just don't do the law stuff. I do everything else. So I leave that to him.
That's a pretty ideal team.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask, what's the main problem that you all were trying to solve when you went searching for a solution like Ruby's receptionist services?
Yeah. What we were really looking to do is, as you mentioned, our clients really need that hand holding. And what we were looking for was a service that could basically be an extension of us, right? When you're talking about dealing with clients, you need this high level of customer care. You want them to not feel like they're talking to a robot or they're talking to like a chat bot. That's exactly what we didn't want. We wanted a company that would really be able to, listen to people, listen to their issues or concerns, and then take it from that and, build it out, maybe set up an interview, like a session with us, consultation with us, whatever it may be. But we really wanted that hand holding, and we felt like Ruby would be able to give that to us.
And I assume with the nature of the calls that you're getting and what people are going through, which I'm sure is some of the hardest times in their life potentially, that you wanted somebody who could show empathy and compassion in the way that you all could.
Yeah. And you know what I find a lot of times, because I take a lot of those customer, client calls, is you should probably rename your receptionist to a therapist as well, because a lot of times that's what ends up happening, right? Because it's such a personal situation. They need, someone to listen. And that's what we get with Ruby. So.
That's great. And with us working with so many legal and lawyer outfits and solo practices, I know that our receptionists experience that on the day-to-day. It's people who really need to connect with somebody in a human way.
Yep, exactly. So.
And what set Ruby apart during this decision-making process for you?
Yeah. And so before I came on in January of 2021. My husband had been working with Ruby, had previously worked with another provider, didn't like them, started working with Ruby, really liked them. But because I was coming on, I wanted to kind of know from the ground up how everything worked. And so, as I mentioned, we started working with an advertising company who threw it in as kind of like a freebie to work with a different company. And we knew what Ruby was and what we had with Ruby, and they just couldn't even match up at all. So many issues and errors. It was like I was spending all my time managing that vendor and dealing with, the repercussions of losing clients. Honestly, we go to Ruby, it's like 100% difference. They can set it up for us. They can set up a consultation through our Calendly, just all these things that, if I'm not able to get the phone, I have a peace of mind that Ruby's going to be able to take that client or potential client to the next level for us. And that means that's a win. That's a win-win. If I can take an hour or two off and have someone there to be an extension of me, that's a huge feeling of relief. So that was kind of why we came back to Ruby, because we already knew we had worked with you before, that you guys could do what we needed you to do. So
I'm so happy to hear that. And thankfully we hear that all the time. And I think that one of the things that potential new clients maybe don't always understand when we're speaking to them is the level of connection that we offer, so that we are a seamless sort of a stop for the client who never knows that they're talking to a receptionist service. They always think that they're talking to your front office.
Right. That's a way we needed it, right? I think the other thing too is for your potential clients, because we want you to be an extension and Ruby to be an extension, we need to take that effort too, right? We went the extra mile. We sent you guys a picture of us in our office space. We gave you all the details of what we do and how we do it and all the intricate details, because we knew that your team would take that and run with it, and just make it work and be that extension of us. So it goes both ways, right? You have to have that that relationship to feel like they are our front office, so.
Yeah, and we love those relationships. That's fantastic. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I want to see the picture. How has Ruby improved your day-to-day since you came in January? How have we helped your day-to-day work?
I think that the easiest way is we can actually have a life now. We don't feel 100% connected to the phone because I have that peace of mind with Ruby. So if we need to have our phones be answered by Ruby because we take a vacation, or we're a small firm, right? And so if we need to do anything personally, I don't even think about it. I know that they're going to take the right message or take the right step to make sure that we don't lose that client, or that we can get back in touch with whoever it is, our current clients that are calling us.
You mentioned earlier that you all you have the intention to grow. Has Ruby helped you all to grow?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I can't take every call, that's coming in. And, we're also starting to build out on our advertising, pay per click and, different websites that we're kind of building out, social media, things like that. So as we grow, we had to have Ruby in place. Otherwise, we knew we'd be missing calls. And that first call is the most important, right? They need that warm, friendly person to not just go to the next one, right? It's proven data, right? So that was essentially, why, and you guys have helped us grow for sure, by getting those consultations set up and making sure you get the right information to us.
I'm so glad to hear that. Small businesses thriving is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
makes
absolutely.
Me so happy. What would you say to people who are maybe on the fence about a service like this, businesses maybe like your law firm?
Mm-hmm. I would say it's worth the investment, and that they should call me for a referral. And I will talk them through, I'll help them out and say, this is why you need Ruby, because at the end of the day, you guys are worth it. And it does really help. And I think a lot of times with lawyers anyway, and most companies, they think bottom line, right? So they want to have some sort of return. Well, peace of mind is one return that is not monetarily. You can't just see that, but if you are a small firm, like we said, you can actually have a life because someone's answering your phone. So it's not always monetarily that people need to kind of focus on. It's also like that peace of mind. And then obviously there's also the monetarily. You get one client out of a consultation that your receptionist therapist, book, then, that pays for the service right there. So I think it's not just monetarily that they need to think about it, but also that peace of mind, the physical, kind of part of it. So.
Yeah, that's really good insight. If people want to know more about your work and your law firm, where should they go to?
They should go to any of our websites or social media, hilltoplawfirm.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. And check us out too, because we have a ton of blogs. My husband's an amazing writer. And so he loves to give people information just based on like what we're seeing in our client base, issues that people are having, concerns that people are having, just ways that they can kind of help, help themselves financially in any of those situations. So yeah, come visit.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.